The Oregon coast is a vast and astonishing region of the state of Oregon, filled with amazing natural beauty, remarkable sandy beaches, dense, verdant forests sweeping down to the shoreline, powerful waves, charming coastal villages, and so much more. The sun shines on the ocean's surface. Turquoise and emerald waves are running against each other, making noise and rolling over the coastal rocks as if performing an intricate dance. They are just trying to reach the coastline that stretches for miles. The Pacific Ocean in its glorious vastness is clearly visible, reminding a boundless desert below the cloudless sky. It keeps lots of secrets and legends, capturing the imagination with its mighty power. Join us on a trip to this awesome land of pristine beauty, where marvelous panoramas and natural wonders await. Located along the magnificent coast of the Pacific Ocean in Oregon's Clatsop County, this lovely little town is famous for the wonderful namesake beach with gorgeous sea stacks rising majestically from the ocean just off the shore, with colorful tide pools and diverse bird life. It's a true delight to explore Cannon Beach any time of the year. There are endless opportunities for walking, playing, exploring nature, and cycling on the shores of Cannon Beach that draws thousands of people to admire the ocean with all those scenic rock formations in the background. There are plenty of birds looking for something to eat and flying so close to the water surface, but out of reach of the huge waves that are crashing against the rocks. This place is home for tufted puffins, pigeon guillemot, pelagic cormorants, and western gulls, as the area around, on, and above Haystack Rock is a sanctuary, providing a protected nesting habitat for both birds and marine creatures. The views of the ocean are spectacular that even birds pause for a moment to take it all in. Adults and kids love exploring this land of biodiversity. The protected area covers 300 yards from the base of Haystack Rock in all directions. Climbing on Haystack Rock is strictly prohibited to avoid disturbing those nesting seabirds and the marine life that call it home. Everyone loves Cannon Beach, with its coastal magic, summer events, unforgettable vistas, and remarkable geology. It's a delightful place for a day trip or to stay a few days. You can spend the whole day on the beach watching one wave after another, fly a kite, or ride a bike. The number of tourists visiting this spot every year is more than the total population of this town. June and August are the busiest and warmest months for tourism in Cannon Beach. The average daytime summer temperatures range from 50 to 70 degrees Fahrenheit. The rich underwater world attracts plenty of divers and snorkelers. It's the perfect spot for everything from sandcastle building to romantic strolls or even surfing. The beach is pet-friendly. Dog owners are encouraged to bring their four-legged friends to enjoy the family vacation. The main attraction for them in Cannon Beach, miles of sandy shoreline, where they're free to play off-leash, chase sticks, and take in that fresh ocean smell. The large sandy beach is a wonderful playground for kids with all sorts of fun things to do. They can find seashells, play in the sand, or dip their toes in the Pacific Ocean. Most of the species of birds you'll see spend much of their lives on the ocean, rarely coming to the beach to stroll along the coast and enjoy more peaceful and warmer water of Ecola Creek that empties in the ocean. This winding creek leads to a more secluded section of sand along Cannon Beach. Western gulls are the most common birds that can often be seen along the coastline. These white-headed gulls with a yellow bill, pink legs, and dark gray back feel full-fledged residents of Cannon Beach, as this is a safe and favorable place for them to be. The region looked absolutely different millions of years ago. Lava flowed through low-lying valleys from what we know as eastern Oregon, and when it reached the ocean shore, it descended into the soft ocean floor and cooled. Over the millions of years, the sea level changed and tectonic plate movement pushed the basalt formations above the surface of the water. Lots of amazing Oregon coast's natural features, such as headlands and rock formations, were created by these massive lava flows. Haystack Rock is one of the most impressive basalt sea stacks on the Oregon coast, towering 235 feet above the shoreline. There is also a set of 3 smaller rocks called the Needles, lurking beside Haystack Rock, that rises from the ocean like a giant that has become a symbol of this town. Modest houses, numerous activities, festivals, magnificent ocean views with glimpses of the lighthouse in the distance make this destination incredibly alluring. This area has become a year-round destination for couples, families, photographers, hikers, and nature lovers. Located about an hour and a half from Portland, Cannon Beach is a favorite Northern Oregon coast vacation spot for both residents and tourists. There are lots of art galleries, shops, restaurants, and hotels along the coastline. The town offers a little something for everyone. Named as one of America's 100 most beautiful places in the world by National Geographic, it attracts lots of visitors throughout the year. This fascinating coastal town got its name in 1846 when a cannon from the wrecked U.S. Navy schooner Shark that washed ashore was found by a local on the beach. The cannon is in the Clatsop County Historical Heritage Museum located in Cannon Beach. It's known as one of the oldest and most popular destinations on the Oregon coast. More than 200 years ago, this place was visited by the members of the Corps of Discovery expedition. Their leaders were Captain Meriwether Lewis and co-captain William Clark. That was the first American expedition to cross the western portion of the United States. It officially began in May 1804 and finished in March 1806. The main purposes of this expedition were to explore the unknown territory, discover the Northwest Passage, establish trade, and document animal and plant life. As soon as the explorers arrived, they immediately began to fulfill one of their main objectives, establishing good relations with the Native American tribes. The northwest corner of present-day Oregon was first inhabited by the Clatsop Indians from the mouth of the Columbia River south to Tillamook Head. The tribe later gave its name to Clatsop County. The Clatsop is a small, ancient tribe whose ancestors had lived for thousands of years before the white man discovered this region. They were experienced fishers and traders. The homeland was full of dense forests of pine, fir, spruce, and cedar, as well as fertile valleys, creating an abundance of game, berries, and edible roots. Ocean tidelands teemed with life, including many species of salmon, sturgeon, freshwater fish, and shellfish. Cannon Beach is a gorgeous place to both live and relax, but unfortunately, it's vulnerable to certain kinds of natural disasters, such as flooding, winter storms, landslides, earthquakes, and tsunamis. On March 27, 1964, Alaska was hit by the largest earthquake ever recorded in U.S. history, also known as the Great Alaskan Earthquake or Good Friday Earthquake. It caused a destructive wave which wrecked some parts of the Oregon coast, including Seaside and Cannon Beach. Cannon Beach's downtown suffered from flooding, and the highway bridge was washed away. Then local residents came up with the idea of holding a sandcastle contest on the beach to raise spirits and bring tourists back. It's been held every summer in June since 1964. There are logs scattered in some parts of the beach. They were brought by impressively large waves during the storm season. This coastal town is a mecca for adventure and thrill seekers. There's no better winter pastime than storm watching on the coast. Powerful waves crash against the rock capes create quite a dramatic sight. Tidepools are another beautiful display of nature you can witness on the Oregon coastline. Cannon Beach tidepools are some of the biggest summer attractions here. The area teems with green sea anemones, purple sea urchins, colorful starfish, sea snails, mussels, and other shellfish with all sorts of shapes and sizes. Purple, green, red, and orange sea inhabitants create a spectacular rainbow on the coastline. Tidepools are also home to some unique and gorgeous oceanic plants, including algae, kelp, rockweed, sea lettuce, and other seaweeds. In spring, especially in April, many species of birds return to the Oregon coast, choosing inaccessible locations such as remote rocky islands where they can lay eggs and raise their chicks before returning to the sea. And Cannon Beach's Haystack Rock is a perfect option for that. The rock has some grassy areas into which birds can burrow their nests. By late August, some of the birds like tufted puffins will be ready to roam the vast oceanic waters with their newborn chicks. The area offers vacation rental options ranging from luxury homes and condos to historic cottages and rustic cabins, many featuring iconic views of Haystack Rock, the rugged beauty of the coastline, and spectacular sunsets. There's a significant number of units that are second homes and not currently occupied by residents, but during spring and summer months, the population increases with the influx of tourists. Almost every home has the same style. The roofs of most of the buildings are shingles that are mostly made from coastal cedar trees that provide many years of service due to their natural weather resistance. Life is quiet and slow here at Cannon Beach. This small coastal town is a treasure of the Pacific Northwest that can easily spark your imagination with its special appeal and charm. Natural beauty of this place inspires and lets us feel the spirit of the Oregon coast. The bright rays of the Pacific sun warm the white sand for beachgoers exploring this exceptional natural area. Stunning rocks rising from the vast and mysterious ocean embody freedom, beauty, and the uniqueness of nature. In the forest, the sky vanishes almost completely. Only a few fragments of blue remain, like scattered pieces of an impossible jigsaw puzzle. It's a nature lover's paradise. There is something totally magic about the sunlight streaming through the tall, stately trees. Silence and peaceful birds blending together with each other and making a lovely improvised melody. Natural beauty and numerous scenic trails of all experience levels offer something for everyone. The Cape Falcon Trail is one of the best hikes in Oswald State Park. Scenery starts right at the beginning of the trail that feels worlds away from the Oregon coast. Only distant sounds of the Pacific can be heard. Wandering through the majestic lush greenery is a great way to reconnect with nature. Vivid green plants crowd the shaded forest path, making it even more attractive for hikers. Travelers have a great opportunity to witness nature at its best and go on a pleasant journey through some of the Northwest's best preserved old-growth coastal forests that are reminiscent of a huge natural umbrella. Cape Falcon Trail is a nice place to see towering Sitka spruce trees, western hemlock, low-growing ferns, salal, and other unique plants that form the basis of the temperate coastal rainforest ecosystem of the Northwest. The hike gains about 600 feet in elevation. This family-friendly 5 miles out and back trail is great for hiking, nature trips, and birdwatching. The rainforest is also home to epiphytes. These are the lichens, mosses, ferns, and other plants that grow on other plants or trees, getting their nutrients from the air, rain, and forest debris that accumulate around them. The trail is lush and green, and the seeps of water on the plants help them flourish in this area. The environment of the coastal rainforest is ideal for vegetation. Mild temperatures, rich soil, and abundant rainfall encourage plant growth. There are also fallen trees in this green kingdom. When a tree dies, it eventually falls, providing some of the most important habitats for whole communities, including mosses, tree seedlings, fungi, small animals, amphibians, and insects. The mosses climb higher in the trees, covering the massive branches and giving this place a special charm. The Oregon coast is home to a wide range of native species of trees, awe-inspiring woodlands, wild rivers, adorable beaches, and rich wildlife. Its beauty is almost overwhelming. If you look at the forest from a bird's eye view, you can witness a green sea that is a habitat for a wide variety of plants and animals. The trail is mostly covered by the dense forest canopy. This place looks so peaceful. The light breeze whispering through the Sitka spruce trees that can reach up to 200 feet in height. There are several evergreen trees with huge round knobs called burls. These odd growths on trees were caused by an injury, disease, or abnormal cell development. Sometimes they can remind us of tortoiseshell nests and even some wild creatures. Temperate rainforest is represented here by 3 layers based on tree plant species and other vegetation growing here. The upper layer is the canopy. It's characterized by huge trees that can be hundreds of feet high. The understory is the middle layer of the rainforest, lying under the forest canopy. It includes small trees and shrubs that thrive in shade. The forest floor, also called the ground layer, is the lowest and darkest layer of the temperate rainforest. It's moist with rich soil. The forest floor is covered with a thick layer of low-growing plants and dead trees. In this layer, plants can survive with very little sunlight. The understory and forest floor is where much of the biodiversity is concentrated. Most animal and plant life exist here. A hike in this mature forest is one of the most relaxing and pleasant things you can do. It's wonderfully cool and shady. To escape the heat, visitors of Oswald State Park love to spend lots of time hiking here and observing trees and plants. Dogs, as long as they're on a leash, are also welcome on the trail. Located about 10 miles from Cannon Beach, the trail offers the chance to see some wildlife, including elk, deer, and bald eagles. The trail features a view of Blumenthal Falls. This small waterfall is scenic as the water cascades down a basalt slope and enters directly down to the ocean. The greenery covers all around the waterfall. Lovely birds are singing, and the sound of water provide a peaceful moment before hikers continue to climb up the switchbacks. The golden light of the sun lit the path, and the forest sparkled with charming summer colors. You can see massive tree trunks enrobed in mosses and thick grasses blanketing the forest floor. The trail alternates between dense forest and breathtaking coastal vistas. This pleasant walk among towering trees features occasional views of Smuggler's Cove, Neocani Mountain, and the marvelous Pacific Ocean. In summer, the forest is full of life. Every shade of green imaginable in trees and plants. It's a special place where you can just enjoy nature. Through the openings in the trees, you can catch a glimpse of the ocean. No wonder the forest is considered a natural gem giving us its gifts. But we need to treat it carefully and preserve its beauty. If you're quiet and alert, you may spot a black-tailed deer cautiously climbing up a slope covered with wildflowers. It inhabits the coastal forests and feeds on different types of grass, mushrooms, and lichen. The hike ends at a gorgeous viewpoint at Cape Falcon, named so for its talon shape. This trail helps to discover one of the most beautiful parts of the Oregon coast. The Cliffside Panorama is mind-blowing. Wind and waves are battering rocks jutting out of the water. It looks like these two elements are competing with each other to determine who is the strongest. In these moments, it seems there is nothing more beautiful or more powerful than nature. To reveal the secrets of this primeval forest, hikers have to overcome the uphill portion of Clatsop Loop Trail. It's a fascinating loop about 3 miles in Ecola State Park. The vastness and solitude of this old-growth rainforest with its beaten paths draw many travelers all year long. A vast silence quickly transforms into an orchestra of birdsong. There are several large patches of fallen trees along the trail, the ground covered with long tree roots and ferns. The dense rainforest along the trail is an interesting place itself. Enormous trees tower high into the heavens. They are hundreds of years old. Huge evergreens, ferns, and other plants provide a good shade from the hot summer sun. The north side of the loop leads to a hiker's camp consisting of 3 small wooden cabins in the forest that serve as an overnight shelter for hikers. They are surrounded by gigantic fallen trees. Ecola State Park has weathered many storms. Constant strong winds and heavy rains are quite common during winter, but they usually calm down by mid-spring. Anyway, the park receives thousands of visitors each year, most of them arriving during the summer months when the weather is more inviting. Through the small openings in the forest, you can take in the stunning glimpses of the ocean. The path winds upward and culminates with views of a lonely Tillamook Rock lighthouse, or Terrible Tilly as it was called, standing on the equally lonely Rock Island. In 1878, the government decided that a new lighthouse should be built to help guide ships sailing around Tillamook Head. But there are no other suitable places to build than offshore on the Tillamook Rock. Tillamook's wild waves took many lives. They had their first victims before construction began. John Travis, a highly skilled lighthouse builder who had experience on many dangerous lighthouse construction projects, was washed off the rock by strong ocean swells and was never seen again. Because of Terrible Tilly's reputation after his death, lots of men refused to work on that lighthouse. But finally, another crew of experienced workers was found who managed to complete this almost impossible task. The construction took a year and a half to finish. It was the most expensive and difficult lighthouse ever built on the West Coast. In 1934, the Terrible Tilly was nearly destroyed by a storm, but builders repaired and updated it. In 1957, the lighthouse was decommissioned and a few years later sold to private owners. The basalt rock itself is 1.25 miles offshore. It was a terrific undertaking for people to build this great construction on the rock, as they were fighting the forces of nature the whole while. Now it's one of the scenic landmarks of the Oregon coast that is listed in the National Register of Historic Places. If you peer, you can see sea lions and seals leisurely lying below the lighthouse. Calm ocean waves are breaking silently on the rock. The ocean is home to lots of natural rock formations that serve as wave breakers. Plenty of rocks of various sizes, spread throughout the coast, were formed by wind and water erosion. From one of the highest points of the trail, you can see again the lighthouse in the distance. It used to be a guiding star emitting light for ships. Today, it's a source of delight for tourists. The primeval forest in Ecola State Park is one of the best places on the coast, brimming with birds and wildlife. The air is crisp and the greenery lush here. The carpet of moss swallows almost everything in its path, from majestic Sitka spruce trees to green ferns. Clatsop Loop Trail travels through terrain once visited by the Lewis and Clark expedition. Everything Lewis saw or discovered he wrote down in his journal. Over 300 plants and animals were documented in this region. Ecola State Park is located north of Cannon Beach. Everything about this lovely park is absolutely beautiful. It stretches along 9 miles of coastline, offering glorious ocean views, miles of hiking trails, and the best coastal viewpoints. This is a place with a storied past. Ecola State Park has an interesting name, and it was actually from nearby Ecola Creek. Captain William Clark named the creek using the Chinook word Ecola, which means whale. Landslides and other unpredictable natural disasters have hit Ecola State Park. Steep slopes, heavy rains, and the presence of slippery clay beneath the trees have caused frequent landslides. The main landslide season starts in winter during the period of major storms. In 1961, the massive landslide destroyed 125 acres, which required a lengthy closure of the park. It was inaccessible to the public for 10 months. Clatsop Loop winds through all the moss-covered trees and ferns growing underneath. Greenery is everywhere, reminding of verdant wonderland. Frequent rains and mild temperatures are perfect conditions for fast-growing trees in the rainforest. It's a great place to pause and enjoy the mossy trees that create a mysterious forest scenery. There are several viewpoints of a picturesque Indian beach on the way down. This is a secluded sandy beach surrounded by the Cape and splendid rainforest. It's popular with surfers and beachgoers. There are plenty of sea stacks jutting out of the ocean that look like ruins. This wide sandy beach is often strewn with shells and pieces of wood that have been washed ashore. Summer offers the best conditions for surfing. There are always some brave souls trying to conquer the waves, while the rest of us are watching them from the beach. Some of the higher ocean vantage points along the trails surrounding Indian Beach at Ecola State Park are perfect for whale watching. During winter and spring, visitors can spot migrating whales close to the shore. Gray whales are the most commonly seen type of whale along the Oregon coast. It's a great destination to enjoy the soothing sound of crashing waves and birds singing in the distance. Contemplate the oceanscapes and rock formations, displaying the Oregon coast's geological past. Walking through the thick coastal forest is the only way to access the breathtakingly beautiful Crescent Beach. It's an over 1 mile hike from Ecola Point parking area along the Crescent Beach Trail. Visitors don't need to walk far to be surrounded by splendid natural beauty. This forest seems untouched by human hands and chaos. It's lush and thriving. The alluring sounds of birds fill the air with a lovely chirping and harmony. Most of this trail is in shade. The trees stand proud and tall as protectors of this enchanted land. There are various shades of green everywhere you look. The breeze is gently rustling the plants and leaves. This trail offers a peaceful escape from the rest of the world. Some sections of the trail can be muddy, especially in the rainier seasons. The mossy rooted trail runs around stumps and tall grasses, up and down slopes, and several switchbacks. The path zigzags around huge trees, and then all of a sudden, there's this amazing panorama of the Pacific Ocean. The view from the trail is simply breathtaking. One by one, impressive ocean waves are hitting the rocks. The sun heats the golden white sand, then hides behind the clouds. the air filled with freshness and peace. Located on Oregon's north coast, at Ecola State Park, Crescent Beach is sheltered by rocks. This is a picture-perfect spot to enjoy the vastness of the Pacific Ocean and encounter interesting and recognizable rock formations, which are nesting sites for many species of seabirds. Crescent Beach is one of the most secluded beaches in the area. It's the less crowded option even in summer. Sitting atop the basalt rock, Terrible Rock Lighthouse rises out of the alluring Pacific Ocean horizon. Cloud banks and fog often cloak it. Every minute the ocean creates a castle from waves and then breaks it down. Mysterious and immense, it excites the soul and doesn't leave the heart indifferent. The birds are warbling and chirping in the dense foliage surrounding this magical beach. Verdant hillside is covered with a carpet of summer wildflowers. From Ecola Point, visitors can soak in the memorable views of the glorious Oregon coastline. Located on the northern Oregon coast between Cannon Beach and Tillamook, Oswald West State Park covers nearly 2,500 acres. This scenic treasure is, without a doubt, one of the most popular and amazing parks in Oregon. It boasts iconic spots, an awesome secluded sandy beach, and miles of trails leading to sweeping views of the Pacific Ocean. Originally, Oswald West State Park was called Short Sands Beach State Park, due to the lovely beach inside the park's boundaries. In 1958, it was renamed after Oswald West, the 14th governor of Oregon, who played an important part in preserving the state's public beaches and making them accessible for public use. Today, it's a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. No matter the season, this place offers some of the most fabulous views anywhere. People flock here to explore superb hiking trails, the surf, do some fishing, enjoy the beach, and taking in the beauty of the park. It's a perfect place for incredible coastal hikes. The three most popular trails: Short Sand Beach Trail, Neahkahnie Mountain Trail, and Cape Falcon Trail, each of them showing phenomenal wonders of the Oregon coast. Oswald West is brimming with that Oregon coast magic. There are hidden views and places to explore. The park provides great opportunities for tide pool viewing and beach walking. It's full of massive rock formations and mesmerizing waves. Unique forests create a special environment where visitors can unwind and contemplate the natural beauty. The sounds and salt air scent of the ocean provide a pleasant environment for walks along the beach that are famous for ancient sea stacks and steep cliffs. Oswald West Park also includes one of Oregon's 5 marine reserves, the Cape Falcon Marine Reserve. It's located just offshore from the park and was established to conserve ocean wildlife and biodiversity and to provide scientific research. Oswald West State Park is home to magnificent old-growth coastal forest, featuring some of the state's largest Sitka spruces, western hemlocks, Douglas fir, western red cedar, and other fascinating trees. This destination is a true gem. Wondrous scenery, boundless nature, and breathtaking vistas of the ocean, all in one place. Crown Point State Park is unique in its history. Located in eastern Multnomah County, it offers awe-inspiring panoramic views of the Columbia River, as well as some of its surrounding tributaries, a heavily forested area, and magnificent mountains. The first thing that draws your attention is a captivating view of the Columbia River Gorge. This is an impressive river canyon stretching over 80 miles long and up to 4,000 feet deep, separating the states of Washington and Oregon. In 1805, the Lewis and Clark expedition reached this place where the Columbia River empties into the Pacific Ocean. For thousands of years, the Columbia River and its tributaries have been essential for the culture and economy of those in the region. Native peoples who inhabited the area over 10,000 years ago used the river as the main source of sustenance and traveled it to connect and trade with other tribal communities. The mighty Columbia meanders through spectacular basalt cliffs, spires, and ridges set against nearby peaks of the Pacific Northwest's Cascade Mountain Range, providing enormous resources to the region: transportation, fishing, and power. Being the 4th largest river in the United States by volume, it flows about 1,243 miles through British Columbia and Washington to Oregon, emptying in the Pacific Ocean. The wide range of elevation and precipitation created a diverse collection of ecosystems, from Oregon's temperate rainforests to vast coastal prairies. The Gorge is home to many waterfalls, streams, and scenic lookouts. There are more than 200 species of birds, over 800 species of plants, including 15 species of wildflowers that exist nowhere else in the world, and about 44 species of fish. Designated as a natural scenic area, the Gorge is rich in natural, cultural, and recreational resources. Countless stunning attractions and unique geography of the region, basalt cliffs, and spectacular scenery can impress even an experienced traveler. Crown Point is a scenic lookout located along the historic Columbia River Highway. It's a great spot to take a breath, see the dramatic scenery and surrounding canyon. The point was designated a National Natural Landmark in 1971, attracting travelers from around the globe to visit the historic Vista House. This awesome building graces the summit of the enormous rock formation, standing 733 feet above the river. Vista House was originally built as a memorial to Oregon's pioneers. Today it serves as a museum and a rest stop for travelers along the historic Columbia River Gorge Highway that was the first scenic highway in the United States. This is a true treasure of the state. It's no wonder that this nearly 75-mile-long historic roadway has been called the King of Roads. It was designated as a National Historic Landmark, a Scenic Byway, a Civil Engineering Landmark, and an All-American Road. The highway provides a spectacular scenic experience among enchanting natural wonders of the Columbia River Gorge. It connects travelers with nature and history of the area. There are also other fascinating overlooks along this highway, such as the historic Portland Women's Forum State Scenic Viewpoint, or Chanticleer Point, that is part of the Oregon State Park System. It's one of the best spots with incredible panoramas of Vista House and the Columbia Gorge. Portland Women's Forum is an organization that's been active in Oregon since 1946. The members of this group are dedicated to the protection of this site from private capital and the preservation of natural beauty along the Columbia River Gorge. So they purchased this viewpoint and gave it to the Oregon Parks and Recreation Department, who now cares for this beautiful spot that offers such amazing views. Lots of people call it the must-stop viewpoint on the historic Columbia River Highway. The historic highway offers a trip of a lifetime for cycling, hiking, and sightseeing along one of Oregon's scenic wonders. This is a truly special area that presents captivating scenes of mountains, rivers, and sheer walls of basalt. The Oregon coast has plenty of awesome things to discover, which exemplify a true beauty and uniqueness of America's Pacific Northwest. Its natural attractions are simply breathtaking. Nowhere else on Earth will you find such a diverse destination offering a unique combination of scenic, natural, and historic landmarks.